looks at posture, biomechanics, and particular segmental breakdown and positioning of these segments for effective running. There will be exceptions to these rules, but for skill acquisition at a high school level, this can be used for the students.
Start again.
Athletes running down the track at this particular point are being analysed by the coach. He's working on the basis of Newton's rule that our body will remain in forward motion unless acted upon by an external force. These athletes are therefore trying to hold their centre of gravity, or line of gravity, in a totally stable and linear fashion rather than going from side to side. So this particular athlete that's running down the track at the moment obviously has a problem with his running in that he is swivelling from side to side. As we break it down with the line of gravity seen on the screen, you can see that his feet are falling outside the line rather than on the line, and his body is swivelling from left to right, meaning that there is a action against total linear movement, therefore taking energy and making his running less efficient. Students must then attempt to run while partners or teacher analyses their line of gravity in reference to stability. The next particular runner, you can see, has a fairly stable centre of gravity, which is not moving. In the slow-mo, you can see this athlete holds his line of gravity fairly still, reducing energy expenditure on unnecessary movement. Therefore, going by Newton's law, is a more effective runner and efficient. The next part of this movie analyses segments or posture segments. You can see the man in the red is showing an ideal running style with his arms swinging from his shoulders with the elbows at a right angle. Students can try to imitate this. The feet pointed straight ahead rather than side to side, knees bent and hips neutral is ideal. Arms at 90 degrees as seen. The next and final segment of the video gives us a quick tutorial on how to achieve the prior postural and segmental outcomes. The athletes, as seen on the screen, visualising their running path, keeping their eyes forward, and particularly trying to keep their shoulders, feet and hips all central and in line with their centre of gravity. These things will aid a student's ability to maintain a linear movement without opposing directional forces. This video is appropriate to teach students about shot put, including their skill acquisition elements. Basically, the shot put technique technique begins with stretching for warm-up, then walking into the back of the circle, grasping the shot put with your fingers, not your palm of your hand, placing it underneath your jawline and into your neck. For a right footer, right-hander, you will place your leg, right foot, into the back of the circle, launching off that right foot, driving in a linear motion and stopping with your opposite foot, called the stopper. And then swivelling your hips first, then your shoulders after, to eventually extend the arm and release. So watching the repeat and the slow-mo to come, you will see the demonstrator launches off the front foot, stops with the back foot, and twists hips, then arms, and extends. This motion can be summarised in biomechanical terms as sequential summation, or basically the larger muscles are activated all the way through to the smaller muscles, allowing for the most effective throw. This next short clip illustrates appropriate techniques and most successful techniques for long jump. It breaks the long jump into 4 components: the run-up, the take-off, the flight, and the landing. We're going to analyse these 4 things separately and then combine. The run-up, the most important thing is actually having consistency. So having your steps measured out so that you land and push off the same foot in the appropriate position on the wood every time. The next most important thing in the run-up is the speed you generate, getting momentum increasing all the way to maximum speed reached at the platform of takeoff. Students can practice this and try to reproduce this in an attempt to meet these 2 criteria. The next is the takeoff, as seen here. The athlete will swivel the hips forward and swing the behind leg forward to turn horizontal motion into vertical motion. Hence, the flight. The flight is probably the least of the important phases out of the 4, and it actually has not much influence on the distance of jump, especially at a high school level. The landing is then quite critical. We hope that, as you can see, the athlete right here kicks the legs forward and pushes the chest towards the heels, allowing the sand to be only displaced at maximum length. Maximum length down the pit, that is.